I'm Prashant. I've been in payments, risk and compliance for about 20 odd years. I started my journey at American Express back in New York, worked with them for over a decade in multiple regions, New York, Sydney, in Australia, and then eventually here in UK. The short-term focus for the company is to become profitable and is to make sure we find out a business model that creates sustainable profit. Of course, we started, as all companies do, with outside funding, but we now need to make sure that we create a business model that generates cash, right? And so the focus right now is, even in risk and compliance, is to make sure that we stop all the leakage in a system, right? Leakage in terms of losses, chargebacks, operating losses, right? So the immediate focus is to make sure that we avoid any sort of unnecessary costs, but at the same time also help sales, help revenue, go after big clients, make sure that their onboarding is, seamless, because that's the revenue that we want. Obviously, if we are starting in Africa, we want to make sure that Africa is well served. So we want to make sure that we sort of leapfrog that journey for emerging markets. I'm an early riser generally. I'm a morning person, so I get up at 5:30 on the dot, even on weekends, wife hates. But I dedicate an hour or hour and a half to exercise, and so I go for a swim or a run or bike ride, and that is absolutely essential for me to function. Meetings kind of start up around 10:30, 11, and then obviously it's a mix of business meetings, one-to-one, connecting with the team. So that's typically how the day does bleed into evenings, sometimes late nights, but that's more of an exception than normal. I usually wrap up around 7:30, have dinner with family, and watch some TV to unwind. Looking forward to Endor, which is a sci-fi Star Wars that just started. So in fact, on the way in, I was actually looking at the reviews of the first 3 episodes that they released. So this weekend is when I'm gonna binge watch those 3 episodes. I'm also a coffee aficionado. I have been actually, and this is somewhat a little geeky thing to do, but I've been sampling coffees from every country possible. I'm kind of glad to say that I've almost covered all African coffee growing regions, not just countries, but regions, and South America. And I'm sort of going beyond those 2 continents and South America and Africa, and going a little bit east to Indonesia, Malaysia.